Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts. And so this is pre-market prep for January 29th, starting it a few minutes late. Feeling a little under the weather, so if my voice crackles out, that is why. But yeah, so just wanted to go over the charts. I think, got a lot of exciting stuff to go over. And then I'll probably get into some of the unusual whales options data in the second half of this 1 hour stream. And so, yeah, I just wanted to start by going over the S&P 500 here, the SPX. And so we got a pretty nice bounce on, let's see, Tuesday, closed the day at a price of $6,067.70, being up about 1% on the day. So if we just zoom in here, we can see that nice move to the upside. We did, there's this gap on the upside here that was formed. We did start to fill that, but really, the gap that we would need to be filling is, I'm not going to draw a line. It's just effectively right around $6,100. That was the closing price on the 24th at $6,101.24, right around this light blue line here. And so, yeah, I think that we could be heading up there, and it was pretty nice that we did get a bounce from this orange line here, $5,963.61. That was, I believe, the high or the closing. Actually, it's an approximate line based on this red candle here. And we nearly got to a 50% retracement. And so, yeah, it's looking pretty good. And I think a lot of this, as far as I understand it, is really just going to be related to DeepSeek was kind of a scare for the market, that China is going way faster with AI. But really, I think it actually demonstrates that it's an accelerant, not a retractor, discourager, because China was able to make advancements with limited resources, but they still have limited resources. So really, that's just a demonstration of how, with the massive amount of resources and access to the NVIDIA chips, all of that, that the U.S. has, we will just be able to go so much faster, taking notes on what DeepSeek did. So, I think this was really just a dip buying opportunity in the markets, and it does seem like we are seeing that with price heading towards, again, $6,100. So we'll see where that goes. And yeah, so I just kind of want to evaluate the chart here. Are there any levels I want to adjust? Actually, something that I might want to do is this 6,099.97. I believe that was the high over here. Yeah, so I'm actually going to delete that, and I will then draw the dashed line here. So the closing price on the 24th was $6,101.24. So got that lined up right there. I'm just going to add this as a dashed line, make it a little bit thicker, make that blue so we know that there is a gap there to the upside that we do need to fill. And this gap here, I'm going to make that solid so we do know that the gap has been filled. And then I am just, rather than actually drawing a level at the top there, I am just going to add I believe this would be the 0% retracement. So that's, the origin of that level. And so that does mark the top there. I do have this downtrending parallel channel that we were trading in. And so, yeah, we actually closed right around that light blue downtrend, the top of that parallel channel. Let's see if I can show you where the pivot points are for that. You can see those three circles there. And so, yeah, not too surprising that we did end the day there. Hopefully we can fill this gap, and hopefully we can start heading towards $6,128. But I do have to note that the FOMC meeting, I believe, was yesterday and today, but Jerome Powell, or Jay Powell, the chair of the Fed, I believe that's his position, he will be speaking today, and so the markets tend to react in kind of a volatile manner when he speaks. So we'll have to see where this goes. But then I just want to, let's see, I'm going to make this Fibonacci a little bit thicker, and then I might do it like a peach color or maybe a light yellow. The yellow is a little bit too bold in my... actually, maybe I'll just leave it as white for now. But yeah, we've got that level up there. And then these levels to the downside that, we might be going back lower, sub 6,000, maybe testing 5,900, perhaps following Jerome Powell speaking. But anyways, let's look over at the SPY. So this does include pre-market price action, does track the SPX or the S&P 500. So if we look at this on the 10-minute time frame, actually in this 10-minute period that I believe is going to end in about, let's see, seconds from now, we do have this pretty big red bearish engulfing candle there, so that might not be such a good sign. It looks like we closed yesterday, the SPY, at $604.52, being up about 0.86%, or just a little bit below 1%, and in the pre-market now trading below $604. And yeah, let's see. I guess I started talking about this candle at the start of the minute, but we should be getting a new one any second now. So let's just see where that goes. But yeah, so let's see. I've got my phone over here. I'm sure the second I check it, we will be on to, yeah, we got like 3 seconds left. So a new candle forming right about now. All right, that was timed pretty well. Yeah, so pretty big bearish engulfing candle there. And so let's see where this goes. Maybe 603 is going to be, retested again, that dashed line there. But yeah, I'm just going to take a step back, look at the daily, and kind of adjust this to be a little bit more similar to how I had the S&P, or the SPX, I should say. So I got that Fibonacci retracement. I did not draw that over here. Yesterday was kind of a short video pre-market prep because, I had work. And so that should be the same levels, just going to make them a little bit thicker and lock that into place. So that should be similar. We did fill this gap kind of in a backwards fashion. But yeah, so I got that line solid there, this dashed line here. And let's see, the parallel channel, don't have the parallel channel here, but I think that's fine. Let's just actually take a look here. This is based on those pivot points. So maybe I want to draw that channel again over here. I believe from here to this point and this point. Make that a little bit thicker and the light blue, lock it into place. Let's see, do those look similar? They do. So let's go with that. And so these charts are drawn more or less the same, although I have this red line here and I don't have the orange line here, but I might actually delete that just to kind of remove the clutter. It was kind of an approximate level. Yeah, so let's see. I think that this could be going higher towards, above 610. The prior high that was hit on the 24th, I believe, yeah, that was $610.78, marked there by the 0% retracement of this Fibonacci. So yeah, let's see what happens. And yeah, I still think that we'll be seeing new all-time highs. I think that the DeepSeek thing was an accelerant, not a, what would be the opposite of accelerant? Not a detractor, something that slows it down. An accelerant, a breaker? I don't know. But anyways, let's go on to the VIX. This, I'll talk about the UVIX in just a second. But yeah, the UVIX did pull back the VIX, both of them pulled back quite a bit. The VIX closing yesterday at $16.41, being down about 8.3%. Pretty big red candle there. Do have this gap to the downside around 14.85. 85. And, yeah, I've got this alert here. I think I might actually adjust my alerts. I do like the 20 there, but I might swap this over to, let's see, 1485. Then that would mark the gap fill, so that will be a good one to be keeping in mind. But yeah, I mean, so we do have this light blue uptrending level that was acting as support, broke below it, gapped above it. And so what I think that this could be settling out down to 1485, but with Jerome Powell speaking today, I do think that there will be some volatility around that. So I think we could actually reclaim this uptrend. And so that is what I would be looking for. But I would also not be surprised, and I would be ready for a possible pullback to around 1485. But since I personally don't trade the VIX, I like to follow the UVIX. Let's look at that. And so basically, I think I had mentioned this in yesterday's video, but I was exchanging with somebody in the comments section about the UVIX, and I was just looking at the chart, was traveling on Monday, and I saw, oh, well, this red box goes up to here. There's a blue line here around 40 bucks. I could see this going up to around 40. My average personally is around, I think, 28.63, maybe off by a few pennies. But I think 40% profit would be around $40. So since I was traveling, I just personally placed a limit sell. I only have a few shares, so nothing too crazy. Just placed a limit sell at around 40, whatever the 40% mark is. And with that being said, it didn't get filled. Obviously, if we do look over at the 10-minute time frame, we can see that Monday pre-market went up to around 37.26. So if I would have taken profit then, that would have been nice. But, like I said, I don't have a huge position, so I'm kind of fine with it pulling back more. I just had an option order canceled. They tend to get canceled around this time, so I have to replace them for selling a covered call, so no big deal. But that's what that alert was that popped up behind Ed. But anyways, I would be fine with adding if this did come down to, let's see, switching over to the daily, come down to 27. I got an alert there, and actually my alert went off when that happened, but I did not have an order placed. I placed the order, but it was just a pretty quick wick down to that level, so it wasn't filled. And so that's fine. So if it does come back down to 27, I'd probably add more. If this gap gets filled around 27.42, that might be interesting. But, like I was saying with the VIX, I think that with Jerome Powell speaking today, there could be some increased volatility. And if we do look at, this green box here, we did see some nice moves to the upside followed by a pullback. But the low over here on December 26th was 29.40. We did get this nice move to the upside, but we didn't pull back to 29.40. We on January 6th pulled back to a low of $30.30. And so if one was to have taken profits here, there would not have been an opportunity to buy back at that level, not even at 30. So I kind of view this little blip that we saw here as maybe something like this. We will continue to see some moves to the upside, as it's been about a 2-week period in the red here. And so I think that we could be seeing, let's see, some green. Maybe I'll just draw the green box up here so we have that to reference. And so that's going to be from the low of 27. And then I might draw that. Let's see. So this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I'm just going to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 1 week. And then actually, I might just do it. So this Friday is the 31st, and then I will just continue on. I don't need to count because I can just look at the date changes. So February 6th, 7th, and so 7th is that Friday. And so I might just draw this up here. And I will adjust that to be going from the low of 27, and then I'm just going to say $40 being the high, and then I'm just going to adjust the kind of color of that box. So that's kind of, where I see this going, but it could be going lower. So, like I said before, $25 definitely on the table. But yeah, this is kind of the approximate 2-week period where I expect to see a more notable top before maybe breaking down and going lower following that. And yeah, with the pre-market for today, I haven't really talked about that yet. It does look like, we're up about 0.5%. Let's see, around 28.93, so about 13 cents higher than where it closed at. And yesterday it did close at 28.80, being down about 6.9%. So yeah, kind of not necessarily disappointed in myself for not taking profits there. I just don't have that many shares, so I'm not really sweating it. And yeah, I just didn't necessarily think this would be, the move for this kind of 2-week period that, I like to track. And, but kind of a tell, though, that Monday's trading would be followed by a continuation to the downside is because it was a move up, but then it was a red candle. So that doesn't suggest that the upside move will be continuing. But hopefully, we can put in some higher lows, so not going lower than 27. And maybe we'll start to form an uptrend. And actually, maybe I'll just put a line here for fun, and we can revisit that tomorrow. And so, yeah, we'll have to see. Is that going to be respected? I suspect not, but maybe it will be, and maybe we will get up to around, $40. So we'll have to keep that in mind. And I might actually, just so this looks a little bit nicer, and just because 40 is an arbitrary number, I'm just going to put it at $40.70. So it does match up with that prior gap that was filled. And that, again, as I've talked about before, was the closing price from August 30th. But yeah, I mean, all sorts of volatility with the UVIX, lots of great ways to make some money on that. And so I suspect we will have another opportunity in the near future. I'm just going to make sure that the greens look a little bit off. So I'm just going to, yep, those are the same. So cool. Yep, looks good. And now I will switch over to Bitcoin, which is pulling back some. On Monday, we had that kind of a big down move below 99,000, below 100,000. So hit a low of actually sub 98,000. But it does look, fine overall, and this is just the way that I've been viewing it, that there's this downtrend. We broke out, forming a bull flag and effectively retesting that downtrend. I think it could be going higher, breaking out. And generally, like the reason why I'm bullish on the SPY, the stock market in general, is because we're in this, 4-year Bitcoin cycle. Or the year after the halving, that is when we tend to see, the euphoria. And we're not there yet. And that euphoria will be, when your coworkers who never talk to you about Bitcoin, never talk to you about investing, they start to talk to you about Bitcoin or some meme coin. And that will be, the top. We're not there yet. So I think that this is looking really good. I think it's looking great for the future. I do have this line here at 100,000. I might delete that just because I don't think we need it, but I might put an alert at 100,000. So let's see. Ooh, I don't need all of these. So I'm just going to delete them. This, I was tracking stuff a lot lower, and I should have been more aggressive, but it is what it is. So 100,000 right there, and I'll do that below. So get a nice little alert if we do get below there. And then, still got this Fibonacci retracement. I do think that's useful. The purple line down there, I think I can still keep that. And let's see, this Fibonacci, that we have, pulled back to this level, the 236, so I might remove that. And then so we just got the 382, that's around $86,000, and I might add the 50. And let's see, I might make that white. All right, yeah, so those are some levels to the downside that we can keep an eye on. But we got tons of levels down here. And so, yeah, like I said, I think that this is a bull flag from this breakout. But one thing that was pointed out to me on X is that if we do look at this on the 4-hour time frame, I'll just draw a quick few trend lines here that I will delete after drawing them, but I just kind of wanted to point this out that we did, we were trading in this kind of wedge here, then we broke lower, and now we're retesting the underside of it. So that doesn't really look so good, but this is on the 4-hour time frame, and still 4-hour time frame here. Looking at it like this, I think overall the bigger picture, this is looking bullish. It's a breakout from this bigger picture downtrend versus a breakdown below the shorter time frame uptrend. So I'm not too concerned about that, but with that being said, I do think that we could be heading down to around 97,000. That would be around the 618. So, I was dip buying here a little bit more aggressively than I normally dip buy, but I do think that price could be coming down even lower, potentially testing this yellow downtrend. So that's what I would be looking for. So, I'm trying to pump the brakes a little bit, be a little bit more cautious with this. I'm actually going to drink some water because I got that cold. My throat's feeling a little sore. So just one second. All right. And so, yeah, I did just kind of want to follow up on what I went over yesterday as well. This is URA. This is a global X uranium ETF. Just thinking that, if data centers, if the energy infrastructure is going to be getting ramped up, especially in the US, I think that nuclear is going to be a big part of that. And so I think that uranium has is a potentially very nice trade. But I do think that this will be going lower, and then the information we get from this could potentially be applied to other uranium stocks, nuclear stocks. But I just didn't want to get into the nitty gritty of all of that. And so excuse me, I'm just going to cough again, mute myself for a second. Sorry about that. But yeah, with this, I just wanted to go over some of the details with this. We do have a gap to draw here, and I do still think that this purple pattern could be playing out because you saw a gap down with a red candle. That makes me think this is going to continue lower. We just might get some consolidation here like a bear flag. And but then I just kind of wanted to map out, I guess maybe I already did that yesterday, that this could be coming down to around $25, around $24.51 at the 786 there. And so when it does get down to that level or around there, that might be a nice signal for, hey, maybe it's a good time to look at some uranium or nuclear stocks to go in on those. But, I do have this parallel channel drawn. That actually doesn't look like it goes back far, so I can just look at it here. Being just approximate, but we did bounce from that level. So pretty cool to see that. So maybe we do get a move up, but it might not be that long-lived. So yeah, I'm just going to draw some of the levels here. So the closing price from the 24th was 30.53, so got that marked there. That is a gap that has not yet been filled. So just going to draw that there so we can see that level. So that's a potential target. But I think an important level that we want to be keeping our eyes on is the high from Monday, the 27th, which was at 28.76. Got that marked there, locking that in place, and I'm just going to make that yellow so it stands out. That's kind of a pretty important level. If we start to move up, we could start to see this is a falling three methods, I believe, is what it's called. I haven't looked at that in a little while, but that would effectively be, let's see, get, maybe another green candle here. I'm just going to, oops, I'm drawing this poorly. Rather than doing a box, I'm just going to do it. Actually, I'll just pull up a chart. I'll pull up the web browser so we can see, let's see, falling three methods. And this got this from Investopedia. We can visit the page here. And I think Guess you can't really see the URL up there. But this is effectively what we're potentially looking at in my view with the chart here, is that we get, a couple more days trading with inside this red candle, but then we get a break lower, effectively forming a bear flag. And so that's this. You have down moves here, and then, it really drops lower, and then from that start to get some candles moving up, but then we get another red candle that pulls back any of those gains. And so that's what I'm expecting, effectively what this purple line is drawing. So I think what I should probably do is put an alert here around, let's see, 25. So, maybe it doesn't come down to the level here, 2451. And, maybe what I also want to do is put one at 2451 as well. So we got a couple alerts there. And so those would suggest, potential good times to go long on this. But yeah, I already got that Fibonacci retracement there. That's kind of what I was thinking about drawing. And let's see. I got kind of an alert from YouTube. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream, so I apologize if there is some wonkiness with this. But yeah, it is what it is, apparently. Sorry about that. But yeah, okay, and so another one that I wanted to follow up on from yesterday is WolfSpeed. This is one that I did add to the highly regarded options thesis, so I will be going over this on Saturday. And I did also pick up a contract yesterday, just one, which I realize is kind of risky because they do have earnings coming up. And so their earnings, it looks like, I believe, is tomorrow, the 29th. Their earnings are today. So this is potentially very risky. And yeah, pre-market though, looks like it's up a little bit, up 1% at 606. If we look over at the 10-minute time frame, doesn't look like anything too crazy is going on, so I imagine their earnings are in the after hours. But yeah, I'm just going to come over here to check out what do I want to see. I want to look up earnings whispers, so I'll do whispers. And from their pinned tweet up here, we can see that we got WolfSpeed here today after the close. Also, maybe I could go over some other tickers here that I've covered on the channel before. SoFi, I'm kind of curious about that. I wasn't really paying attention. I imagine it was not such a great day for them. So maybe I will. Oops, not OFI. I want SoFi. And so yeah, just out of curiosity, what happened with them? Yep, pretty big gap down. Where could this be coming to? Well, I think this probably already did test the 618. Yep. And so, oops. And yeah, there's a 786 there, kind of golden pocket, is that range there. So yeah, this could have been a great dip buying opportunity for SoFi, but maybe not. Other ones that I've covered, let's see. This morning, anything interesting this morning? NDAQ, NASDAQ, I guess, has earnings. That's weird. But yeah, after close today, it's going to be a pretty huge day with Jerome Powell speaking, Tesla earnings after the close, Meta earnings after the close, Microsoft earnings after the close. Mind-blowing. IBM, that'll probably be big as well. Lam Research, I'm not too familiar with them. High Tide, have covered them on the channel. HITI. And yeah, and then WolfSpeed. So I'm pretty curious about that one. And then tomorrow before the close, Nothing that really stands out. One that I am very interested in, I'll probably cover it this morning here before we get on to the end of this stream. But I am very interested in Intel. I've been accumulating some contracts. I might get some more this morning. Yeah. I may not. I may change my mind about that because their earnings are so close. It's kind of a gamble. But then also, Apple just recently announced that they're going to have, I believe, a partnership with SpaceX. So iPhones will be able to get access to Starlink. I think that's pretty cool. It's just you see these new technologies and they're not accessible to everyone initially, but then they slowly get integrated into everybody, access for everybody. T-Mobile, now Apple. So I think that's really cool. And also Visa and X or X Money did just announce that they will have a partnership for X Money. So really, just building up the Everything app. So I think that's pretty cool. MasterCard, I believe they had a partnership with somebody, but I forget. I feel like the Visa news is a little bit more exciting. And so I'm going to come back over to the chart, the charts to look at WolfSpeed more and then Intel. So I will add Intel here so I don't forget. And then, INTC. There we go. And yeah, I might just remove SoFi from that. Actually, well, why did I need to remove it? I didn't need to remove it. It's a reminder that I did go over it. But yeah, so WolfSpeed right around 6. Got this nice move up. I drew this downtrend, which is probably approximate, probably not locked into place. And let's see, maybe I do want to adjust that to be a little bit more precise. And yeah, so I'm actually going to delete that downtrend, draw it as a ray, because then I can get 2 pivot points. And so I will do that. Let's see. From the high over here of 47.43 to the open price from June 12th, which was at 29.92. So just going to make sure those levels are correct. They are. So I'm going to lock that in place, make it a little bit thicker. And so then we can see kind of, I had drawn it before where we were above the downtrend. Now it looks like we're below it. So that maybe doesn't look as good, but I do think that since we've had so many retests of this, that we could be looking at a breakout soon. And so thing that I'm curious about is doing a Fibonacci retracement from the low here of 466 up to the high here, whatever that number was. I am just going to check it here on the 17th of January. The high was 723. So just going to make sure that is correct. 723, 466. So looking good. And then the proportions does look like we have come down to the 618. Almost nearly to the 618. So maybe the 50% retracement. Want to add that there. And I might make this, let's see, a little bit thicker and light blue, just so we're paying attention to it. Yeah, I mean, this to me, it looks like a bull flag. And I think that we're just waiting for earnings. And I think that this could be launching. So I'm excited about that because I do have, a contract. It's a small position. But actually, by the time earnings happens, I may not have the contract because I've been trying to exercise, taking profits at 20%, moving on to the next one because I haven't been doing that, and I think that's cost me a little bit. So yeah, I mean, this one could be a pretty insane mover, and so I'm kind of hoping that I'm still holding the contract by the end of the day, because yeah, I think that this is going to be a real winner, but at the same time, I don't want to be too risky. And speaking about earnings and risk, I do have more than one contract of Intel, so I kind of wanted to go over the chart here. Thinking about this, looks like I can adjust this Fibonacci retracement. And actually, I want to just drag it up to, let's see, the high from over there, 2241, and yeah, so that looks good. And then the proportions, what do I want? It looks like, I can remove the 50%, and maybe I'll add the 65%, so we got that golden pocket mark there. This could be coming down to 1952, which would be the 786, and I will make this a little bit thicker. Light blue stands out, and yeah, but we could, still be putting in higher lows. And also, setting aside this green day, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red days. I think that maybe we get another red day. Maybe this comes down lower before earnings on the 30th, which is in the after hours. If I do flip over to here, yep, Thursday after the close. And, I just think that this is such a beaten down stock. Had come back down to this historical 786 in yellow there at 1886. And so I think that this is, oversold. This is going to be going higher. I might actually adjust or delete some of these levels so it's not too cluttered. What's this light blue 786? We broke below it, so I don't think that's an important level to be keeping an eye on anymore, just to remove some of that clutter. Still do have this gap to the downside at 1967. It looks like I do have an alert there. The low yesterday was 1974, so just about getting to that gap, but that might be kind of like a trap luring people to wait for 1967 price not to hit that level and then it to take off for earnings. So, I could kind of see that, but I also just kind of enjoy thinking about it like that, the psychology behind that. And so if we do look over at the 10-minute time frame, where has price come down to? Yeah, still it's the low of 1974. So I'm not too concerned about this, but I did want to look at some of the options data. Actually, I have like some levels up here. I noticed some stuff. What is this? Oh, that's a parallel. I don't think that parallel is really that important. Do we think it's important? Maybe I'll just leave it up there. It's not bothering anybody. But maybe I think that, there are better levels that I could potentially have. So yeah, maybe I want to remove that. We could be doing a Fibonacci extension here to see. I just think that this is probably, there's the close here. There was a gap here, but, it has, of course, been filled. But I might just want to draw that as a level. So the closing price on this day was 23.32. So got that marked. It was a filled gap, so I'm not going to make it dashed. And I will make this a blue line, so I do know that there was a gap there. 23.32. And let's see. Let's look over at some of the options data, though, because I think that will be kind of telling if this is being bought up or not. And so if we do go to contract lookup, we got this for AMC. But the two calls that I have, one is this. This is, okay, so maybe I just want to show the contracts. Or actually, no, we could see it at the bottom, so I'll just leave it with the volume. This is the right here, the Intel $30 call that expires in June. June is now, about 5 months away. So this is getting a little bit risky. So I've also been looking at the $50 call that expires in January of 2026. So those are the two calls that I'm in. And I'm kind of contemplating, do I want to add to them this morning? I do believe I placed the buy orders for both of these just to add one more contract. But maybe with earnings, I don't necessarily want to do that. But the data here for all of the Intel contracts kind of got me thinking, well, the bottom could be in. Because for the day, we did see net put premium go down by over 4 million, whereas net call premium went down by only, about 100,000. So, the massive selling of puts, that's a good look. Whereas the selling of calls, it's not that much money, only 100,000 versus 4 million. So this does get me think that this is probably looking more bullish. And if we do see here, the net put premium in red came down massively yesterday, whereas yesterday net call premium was actually up for a lot of the day, but then there was just some selling towards the end of the day. And that's what, resulted in this ending negative. But overall, it did hit almost $1 million net call premium to the upside, getting a high of around 990,000 before this sell-off. And so that sell-off, might actually be smart money. So maybe it's something going on there. Maybe we do want to look at the max pain for this week. Maybe that would be telling. But let's just before getting into those contracts, let's look at the max pain for Intel for this week. And so I should note, the current price is 1980. I suspect max pain will be around 20, but maybe it's higher. Max pain is 20 for this week. We are below that. So that's kind of a bearish look, but with earnings, lots of volatility expected. So not too surprised by that. But yeah, I mean, I'm contemplating, do I want to not make, do I want to cancel the buy orders? Do I have? Let's actually see, what's been going on with these calls, these individual contracts. So for this $30 call, and actually maybe for this, I want to look at the contract volume. So we can see for this specific contract, the $30 call that expires in June was flat more or less during the day and then got a little bit of a pullback. And we can see that there, is kind of consistent buying throughout the day. But it actually looks like the change was a decrease of 99 contracts from yesterday, 99 contracts being sold, net being sold. And so we saw open interest go from 36,461 down to 36,362, decrease of 92. And so that doesn't look so good. So maybe I want to pull back a little bit and not be so aggressive with this contract. I think I have 3 of them. And so that's risky enough right before earnings. And if it does collapse following earnings, I can add. If it goes up following earnings, then, I take profit and walk away, and that's great. And this other contract, though, maybe this is a sign that, the June expiration, maybe that's a little too risky. Maybe the January expiration, maybe that is risk proportionate, considering that we've got, basically a full year before it expires. And so the open interest for this one did go up. So that's good. It went up by 430 contracts. So on Thursday, opened the day Thursday, closed the day on, if I'm saying Thursday, it's because I think today's Friday. Today's Wednesday. Sorry about that. On the 28th, I should clarify that was Tuesday. Open the day Tuesday or close the day Monday, however you want to think about it, with an open interest of just below 73,000 contracts. But then that went up by 430 contracts, putting the open interest now, prior to open on Wednesday, the 29th, at an open interest of 73,368 contracts. So that's looking good. And the premium for this, the low, high, and average is about 30 versus the contract that expires in June. That's around 50. So this is, more expensive and more risk. There was selling. So this is probably, wanting to be more risk off prior to earnings, especially if it does collapse only 5 months before expiration versus about a year, or I should say 11 months before expiration of this January call. So I think that there's some, nice, that's makes me feel a little bit more confident in this. And then another one that I wanted to go over, I got about 15 minutes left, but I did want to go over Plug Power. This is one that stood out to me, both in the chart and also looking at the data from yesterday. So I had kind of talked about this I believe in the options video for the weekend, last weekend, and then also in, I believe, last Friday's pre-market prep, I believe. And so, yeah, Plug Power now below $2 a share. Pre-market looks like it's down about 2 cents or 1%. We can see that it is trading at 194, whereas it closed at 196 yesterday, but being up about 0.5% yesterday. But, the thing that stands out to me is going from this, I believe, all-time low, or at least 52-week low. I think there's prior history. So yeah, if I just switch over to, I'm going to remove my drawing so it doesn't look too ugly. If I look at quarterly, yeah, it's had lower lows, so I can't say all-time low. But the 52-week low of 160, drawing a Fibonacci retracement from there up to this high that we hit on January 7th, which was at $3.32. We see the 786 there at 197. We're trading right around there. Also do have some confluence with this purple downtrend that was, kind of an ugly neckline here that we didn't really respect. But then when we did break out, we did get the measured move. So those levels are pretty similar. Also $2 a share, just being kind of a psychological level. And so, yeah, I feel like we could be forming a bottom right around here at 186. That was the level that I had marked during this earnings call. That was the low in the pre-market, I believe. An important level, kind of a sentimental level for me. And I guess I do have this red line there, kind of important, going back over here. So yeah, I'll probably keep that. And yeah, I just think that this is potentially forming a bottom, and the options data did kind of support that. So I did want to go over the plug data, but I'm just going to make, I'm going to take away the contract volume just so we can look at this is the options volume. So it's not specific to the contract. It's all of the plug data. And so we can see that, let's see, the volume here is green on the day. So that's good. And we saw the net put premium in red here coming down over the day. That's good selling puts. That's bullish. And then the net call premium was kind of, plus or minus throughout the day, but then did end the day green. And so if we look at the data up here, net put premium down about 48,000, whereas net call premium was up about 25,000. So, that's, 48,000 selling of puts plus, so let's say about 50 plus about, 25 buying of calls, so going long. So that's about, $75,000 effectively, either not being short or going long. So I think that's good. Excuse me. And another thing that, I actually probably want to, I can just, let's see. I think I can pull up, I forget how to expand this. Maybe I go over here, get linked to, I don't want to, let's see. I think I maybe just click the arrow here. Yep, pop up. And yeah, so what I wanted to look at, maybe I should actually do this for Intel as well. I had wanted to look at the bearable slider, and 54% bullish, so that is majority, of course. But let's see, bearish, bullish. Yeah, it's about, I believe, I think this is, let's see, net call premium. I believe this is, yeah, total premium. So I believe this slider is referring to premium. So actually, yeah, let's add those numbers up to see. Oops, sorry, it's behind me. Let's add those numbers up. I'm going to pull up the calculator to see if they add up to $538,000, because then that would be kind of a nice lesson for me that I would know that the bearable slider is referring to premium. So I got the calculator over here. And so let's see, I'll just type in, actually, yeah, let's do it this way here. So let's see, 217.59. So I'll type that in, 217. Oh, and I Got it hovered over there, so that's good. It's 217.59 plus 290.45 plus 30.72. Hopefully I didn't make any typos with that and I can actually see the numbers so it doesn't look like it. And so that should be around, yep, exactly the number here. So that tells me that this is, premium in the bearable sliders. So that's good. That's a learning example for me. Hopefully a learning example for you as well. And yeah, so majority of money is bullish. So plug's looking good. And so I think I did add to, not add to, I think I placed a buy order to get another contract. And so the contract that I am holding, I'll just pull that up here. It is the $5 call that expires January 16th of 2026. So a leap from now. This is the $5 strike. We're looking at the current price of around $2. 5 is pretty ambitious, but that would correspond with, right around here. So I should probably mark that, that being the reason why I have that target. Well, actually, also this gap fill up here. So multiple levels up there that make me think plug could be heading towards $5, but it doesn't necessarily have to get there. I do plan on swinging this for 20% profit. I haven't been disciplined, right? I mean, I've attempted to be disciplined with my thesis for the highly regarded options theses, but it hasn't necessarily been working for me because I've just been accumulating more contracts. I want to be taking profits. So I'll be trimming this at a 20% profit. But yeah, if we do look at the data down here, so, let's see, following, I guess it would have been Tuesday's trade, or following trading on, let's see, on Monday, we started Tuesday with the open interest of, so Tuesday, we had the open interest, prior to the market opening, we had the open interest of, let's see, I know that, so these numbers won't change. Volume will change, I believe. Volume will change because that's based on the day, so there's 0 volume so far today. Open interest getting into the day, starting today, of 49,614, which is up by 29 contracts from the previous day, which also had an increase of 250. So that's looking good for this contract. So from yesterday's trading, there was an increase, 29 contracts. That's how you get the number here. And then we will see this number should be stagnant for the day. We'll see volume go up, and then tomorrow pre-market we'll see this number, whether it's gone up or down, if there's been selling or buying. And so generally, we've just been seeing buying. We've been seeing accumulation of this contract, not a huge amount, at most $14,000 or, 15, almost 16,000 down here, 33,000 almost right here. So, a lot of buying of this contract. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. And so this is one I would like to add to before pre-market. I think maybe I've got a buy order at 26, I think is what I have, just to add one more contract, nothing too crazy. But yeah, so I'm feeling good about this. And so maybe I'll just do kind of, what I wanted to look at is, sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. I wanted to look at the bearable slider for Intel and to see that is, yes, majority bullish, but it's only 43% bullish. So this one, especially with earnings coming up, it's a little bit risky. We see the bullish side definitely being more than the bearish, but maybe, the neutral is more bearish. And so that would kind of balance it out. So yeah, less confident in this one than the plug one. Also with earnings, this is risky, but yeah, I think maybe for that January contract, that's interesting. But yeah, I might do kind of a quick little lightning round here. And yeah, maybe I'll just do it from the overview. So AMC, let's take a look at that. Actually, no, because I want to look at the contract data. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out, the contracts that I hold. So, we can see what the I may not read them out loud. I just got a few minutes left, so just gonna, of course, do a lightning round here at the end. Yeah, so AMC, the contract up here, strike in the expiration, increase, so that looks good. This one, again, an increase, but not a huge amount, so take it with a grain of salt. BlackBerry, pretty notable increase. So this one, actually, I sold the contract that I had yesterday, took profit at 20%. Maybe I do want to buy back if it does dip lower, so maybe that's a better way to pivot around stuff than accumulating more Intel. And then Celsius here, this small increase. Flat here for this one, which does have, this is the one that the whales bought. If I do scroll down, 38,000, contracts back here, and we are right around 39,000. So still holding those. And this other contract here, slight increase there. Charge point, sell. This one, I can't wait to GTFO my position because I don't think this is going to happen, but we'll see. Maybe I break even. GameStop, slight increase. Highcroft Mining, flat, boring. Can't wait to get out of that one as well. Intel did go over these. Slight decrease there. Slight notable increase there. Luminar, flat, boring. Kind of just waiting for this one to come down to $5. Right now it looks like pre-market $5.32. Marathon Digital, lots of green here. So this one, I plan on holding it to make back what I had lost with a different contract. But, currently in the red, so that kind of sucks. But, no big deal. I'm not chasing it, a fallen knife or anything. Neo, lots of selling for this one. So feeling a little bit antsy about this. Pre-market is down 1 cent, so no big deal. This one, this is pretty nice. I feel excited about this. I feel good about this. This is the one that I have a lot of. There are lots of buying on that one. So yeah, maybe this is just a little bit too risky. This one feeling good. I'm going to have to note that for myself. So Neo, and then I was also talking about BlackBerry. Those are two that I think the data looks bullish on them. And so I should note that this is the June, just noting it for myself. And then this other one, $15 strike, that's January, went down by one contract, no big deal. Plug Power already went over it. This looks pretty good. QuantumScape, there's been a lot of buying here. I'm very intrigued by this one, but I just can't spread myself too thin. Rivian, this lots of buy-in, so not looking too bad there. Unity Software, these contracts, I got a couple of them here. Increase, so looking good. Increase, lots of increases, so looking good there. And then WolfSpeed, a little bit of a decrease, but anyways, I am now at just after 9, so I'm probably gonna close this down, but I will go over to the charts to add Neo. Oops, got my fingers misaligned. Neo, and did I add that? Yep, and BlackBerry, because BlackBerry did not get added for some reason. There we go. Yeah, so this, that actually looks pretty good, but it did close below the high here. And actually, I don't need to draw a line because it looks like, oh, no Fibonacci. I've just got higher lows there. So that high was at 435, so that is lined up correctly. Closed below it. So I think we could see a little bit of a pullback, but maybe not. Maybe this does rip faces off. Currently up over 1% in the pre-market. And actually, let's look at the 10-minute time frame. Above that level that I just drew at 435, currently at 438, but maybe it's a fake out. And so I think that the average that I had for the call was 48 cents. And I think I sold at 56 or 50, I think 58 cents. Yeah, so I'm just going to come over here to look at, what am I talking about? BlackBerry. Yeah, so this one, you can actually probably see my sell at probably here. Average fill 58 cents. That was candle volume 1, so that was me, believe it or not. I could have sold, at 60, but maybe that wouldn't have been filled. Could have sold at 59. Maybe that wouldn't have been filled. So I'm happy about that. Took 20% profit. But yeah, my average, I believe, was 48 cents. The low yesterday was 47. So I would look for a dip to 48 to maybe buy back that one contract that I had. NEO, I'm just thinking, that I wonder if Chinese stocks are about to really break out. This one looks like it's been consolidating down here. Maybe this is a bear flag. Maybe it doesn't look so good, but maybe we start to see it start to take off. So that's, what I'm hoping for. But if we do look at Hang Seng, HSI, I believe. Hang Seng. I don't know how to spell. Hang Seng. How do I spell Hang Seng? I think I just need to look up that. Hang Seng. Hang Seng. Index, HSI. Okay, so maybe that just doesn't... Oops. Hang Seng. Huh. Dang it. I don't want to do that. HSI. Why can't I? Dang it. HSI. I don't know what those are. Dang it, why does it keep doing that? But I can look up KWeb. This is the Chinese internet, China internet. This going off, but maybe getting into resistance there, so maybe good to be cautious. And then Baba, Alibaba. Why did that not come up? This is a sign that I need, because I'm in ETFs. This is a sign that I need to be closing this down. But yeah, looking really strong there, up about 3% in the pre-market. So maybe this is really going to be taken off, and hopefully NEO will be tagging along. Another one that I can look at is Baidu. This also taken off, but maybe into some resistance. So maybe see a little bit of a pullback. So maybe good to not be super charged with NEO. But yeah, I'm just going to pull it back to this list, and I will end it on, plug, because I'm probably most intrigued by this one. So anyways, but yeah, I'm going to close this down, and I'll actually, maybe before I close it down, I will just show you some of the stuff. This, I would recommend this video for looking at DeepSeek. I think that Andre Jik does a great job going over that. And then if I do refresh this, we can see that this is one that I tend to always watch. Gareth Soloway, haven't really been watching the past week, so I'd encourage checking that out. And this is also just going to be great information on Bitcoin. So if you're interested in that, I'd recommend checking out Scott Melker. And so yeah, I'll include links to these in the description of the video. And yeah, maybe I'll actually just add those to it now, so I don't forget, so I can get on with my day. And so here, this is Scott Melker. I will put that there, and I can delete that part. And then Gareth Soloway, which I tend to watch first because they're a little bit shorter. So I'll put that there. And then I will also put the video from Richard Newton. If you're interested in GameStop, he's a great person to follow, but his videos can be kind of long, and time is important. And so I will also include a link to, where's Andre Jik's video? Right here. I will copy that, and I watched that last night. I thought it was really nice and informative. But one that I have not watched yet that I'm really interested in, Ray Dalio is interviewed by David Friedberg from the All In podcast. And so I am interested to watch that today. So I will include a link to that in the description of today's stream as well. So those are all there for you. But yeah, I'm just going to pull back to this screen so I can throw this up because, as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos and pre-market preps like this. Thanks a lot. And let's see. I just accidentally removed something from there. Or no, I just slipped with the keypad. But anyways, take care, guys. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a video later today, though. But take care.